Stand by for contact.
Ladies and gentlemen, boils and ghouls, welcome. Evil is as evil does, and I believe in wicked. I believe in immorality.
You need to fix this. I have somewhere really important to go. Piscataway.
Piscataway, come for the water, stay for the poison ivy.
So sorry we had to end. You'll always be my dead girlfriend. 1, 2, 3, 4. My biggest sexual fantasy, I wish I had a chainsaw hand.
What the hell are three talented guys like you doing with that slob? I mean, seriously, is he paying you?
Threatens us.
He threatens you, okay.
Like that fun.
Is he a
I owe
good...
him a lot of money.
Is he a good boss?
What's up, mother truckers? Here we are trying to find the Evil Expo. It's somewhere in the Roundhouse South. It's that way.
Well, Norman, I think I can help you if you just let me go. I think I hear your mother calling from the basement below.
Okay. Hello, we are the Cult of Contempt, and we are here at a place for villains and villainy.
This is a 1930s Buck Rogers disintegrator ray gun.
I thought it was Buck Rogers,
Yep.
okay.
So you would advance it like this, and if I shoot this gentleman right over here,
Space, the final frontier. These are the exploits of the Starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission.
This is head and shoulders above every other act, folks. A big round of applause!
You're listening to Cult of Contempt podcast.
It's time to name the asshole of the week soon. Cult of Contempt. Cult of Contempt. Cult of Contempt. Wednesdays at 8:15.
Live. We are?
We're live.
Yeah, we're live because we're watching the intro on delay, so. We're so stupid.
So now,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Cult of Contempt.
what's up?
The Cult of Contempt podcast.
We're here with Flight Day Frankie.
yeah. Which one of you guys
wrote the what was it? The Facebook post.
That was me.
Flight Day Frankie.
Flight Day Frankie. You know this guy.
The pilot.
Do I look like a pilot? Fight Day.
Oh, did I spell
Fucking
it right?
Fight Day. Fight Day. Jesus Christ.
First of all, on almost every other post Jim does, he misspells something that's hysterical, and then he acts like oh, did I do that?
Oh, Flight Day. Came in here on a fucking plane.
You know, I thought you were like one of those high-flying wrestlers.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like Jimmy Snuka, The Living Laser.
I gotta admit, the first time I met
Shaw
you,
Brothers.
I thought you were doing like a stoner like Johnny Bravo or something.
That's good.
I love the socks though, man.
Yes, I
He's got
have
Ren and Stimpy
fucking
socks.
A shitload of just random cartoon socks. A lot of Beetlejuice. Me and Sean Henry actually had.
At Evil Expo, yeah,
Yes.
you guys were both rocking Beetlejuice socks,
It's fun.
Awesome.
Awesome purchases.
which I thought was a delight. The Evil Expo, we all had fun.
Yes.
Had an excellent time.
Do not.
Very child friendly.
Say what you want about Jeff Mock, even if he is some weird sexual hypnotist devoid of human compassion, he throws a great expo.
He had human compassion.
No, I'm sure he's fine. I don't think you can really be a sexual hypnotist. I think that's all.
Sexual hypnotist. Sexual hypnotist. That should be the name of my next album, right? Sexual hypnotist. No, that was a good time.
The sexual hypnotist.
It was a great time.
It was
In theaters this fall.
I saw a lot of fucking cool acts there.
Yeah.
Vias for Villains was one. They were awesome. I gotta give props to those guys.
We only got to see you and Devil, but it was totally worth the drive, and it was worth the hellish drive back.
Yeah, you guys went back in the...
We left right after your set and drove back, and it was like some of the worst rain we've ever driven in, and people were like mad that we weren't speeding away. It's like, well, you know, you can't see 5 feet in front of you. Like, what do you want? But it was totally worth the drive.
It was definitely a rainy night.
Yeah.
It was a dark...
The champ absolutely loved the live music and completely tore that up.
I gotta say, like, that room was perfect for Jessica Lantern. Like,
Yeah.
she had room to echo out. She sounded really strong in that. Yeah, she was great. She was really good.
Did you guys
great
catch
singer.
the champ rocking out?
Yes.
The champ rock?
The champ.
That's his son.
Oh!
Yes.
Yeah.
The little punk rock kid
Yes.
with the headphones.
Yes.
That's
That is my mini-me.
Okay.
It looks like his mother, but he's...
Now I've caught up. All right. I'm listening.
Yeah, he is just...
That kid's a ball of energy.
Yes, non-stop from day till night. Seriously, he's still up.
And what age is
He just turned 3 on Monday.
Okay.
He's probably calling from his room, just calling mommy, and then when she gets over there, I don't know. I gotta tell you something. It has nothing to say. He's really good at manipulating the situation. He gets to stay up really late just by asking no questions.
Nice.
So he calls, you gotta come. You gotta see if he's gotta go to the bathroom or something. He's just like, nothing. Or I gotta go he'll get up, he'll go to the bathroom, he'll just stand there. It's great.
He's just seeing if he'll answer.
He's waiting to he's seeing how long it goes.
He's
But
testing
we
you.
are doing like we're at the end of like the potty training. So normally when he says it, like he gets up, he goes. But then you just kind of play him with the counter.
It's like just a small human that you've invited into your house and spent all your money on so they could slowly take you down over the years.
Oh yeah. Well, he's doing it now. There's videos online of him choking me out, stomping on my face. He hit me with an up kick. I learned that from Nico Price.
Nice.
Watch out, man. You could burst a spleen. The little kids have power, man.
When I was his age, I was in real that Super Ninja Turtles. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
This kid's into fucking hand-to-hand combat.
Yes.
Knees and
He knows how to throw knees. We were working on the Jorge Masvidal. Yeah, we were working on the Jorge Masvidal knee, just running and jumping up. He loves it, and like we had an octagon. Like, we literally had the baby gates. We had 8 of them. We set them up. we lived at my in-laws, and we would just go up there and we would just fight like all day long. Me and him would just wrestle around and grapple. He beats the crap out of his grappling dummy. That thing's got to weigh probably about the same as him.
Oh
And
my
it's bigger.
God.
It's like a 4-foot grappling dummy.
I mean, this kid had like a vest with like buttons. Like, I thought he went to my high school for a second. I was like, oh, wait a minute, no.
Goolsby actually signed that vest.
nice.
At the acoustic show they did before the Troxon tribute.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, we took him there.
Oh, that's awesome.
He was younger, so he didn't last very long. We wound up in the hall. Well, I wound up in the hallway with him, just running around. Same as he does good for about the first 45 minutes to an hour, and then it's.
Yeah, I was impressed, man. He went like almost 3 hours at Evil Expo.
Yeah.
Like Jeff played the Devil played at like 11, and
we hung out for an hour and we had lunch.
Yeah,
a little less than an hour because you started early.
Yeah, I started a little early, but like he was like all in, like.
Oh, yeah. And then I don't know where all that energy at the end of the show, like the middle of your set,
he was
just like, that's it, we're running the whole time. And I'm like, all right, here's my cardio. I'm getting fat, you know. I really am. Let myself go.
I mean, just to watch you chase him as he was just like running through the entire fucking thing.
Yes.
And you were just catching him over and over. I was like, that's exhausting.
Yes. He's like, I don't know, like 35 pounds probably. And it's tiring, but he freaking loves it. And my wife can't do it. Like, we'll tackle her. Like, without a doubt, he could take her down. She's very clumsy though. Love you.
He'll topple her like Jenga.
Yeah.
I want to use this kid for like a fucking bank heist or something, because you know he can crawl through the air ducts.
He's very loyal. He's very loyal. On Twitter,
off the car running, man.
on Twitter, there's a couple of guys that I talk to all the time, and he literally he gives them shout outs and stuff. He he'll make little videos and talk directly to them and send it to them. Actually, one of the guys, Genghis, he lives. God, I should know this. I don't remember, but he lives in Jersey, and he came and actually visited a couple times. We met him in Newark, went to the fights, me and my wife.
Nice.
And then he came to one of the playoff games, at my house, and we hung out. No, for my birthday, actually. That's what it was.
Nice.
We hung out.
Cool.
That's a good community on there. Huh?
In small groups. In small groups. You get too many people. You get too many people. Everybody starts arguing because there's little clusters. It's basically high school.
Oh yeah.
It's high school for MMA, and yeah, it's not too bad.
It's cliquey.
Oh yeah.
One tribe hates the other, and then it all goes to shit, huh?
No, it's been around. We get into uproar. The longer, supposedly, the longer there is a gap between fights, the more hostile everybody gets. Because we're only there to talk about fights, and then there's nothing to talk about, so we just start picking on each other, and it just turns into a big war. When somebody has to do some race baiting or some nonsense.
Oh my god.
Eek.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. No.
It's never dull.
You're I could just log off, but you just stay on there and just deal with
you just stay there, eat your popcorn like Michael Jackson.
I don't leave the house. I'm working out. I'm taking care of the champ. I'm doing my housewife duties because I'm stay-at-home dad. So I stay on Twitter.
Twitter, the portal for stay-at-home dads.
Yeah.
He wouldn't know what happens in the outside world.
No, I don't think I would. I get my news from Twitter, which probably isn't the greatest.
No, it's the best news source because anybody can write it.
It's like, oh, what's trending today? I gotta find a credible source.
Yeah. It's fast, though. I will say that. You get shit on Twitter fast, whether it's right or wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's media today, period.
Yeah, but everything hits Twitter first, it seems.
There's hey, did you hear about this? Let's just run with that.
Yeah, I feel like it's Twitter or Reddit. Usually, Reddit is usually for certain things. It's weird. I just watched that documentary, "Don't Fuck with Cats."
I keep hearing about that.
Oh man, it was crazy, and I didn't watch it for a while because I remembered following it when it was happening on fucking Reddit, and this guy was basically. He put up these videos where he killed cats years before, and these people that really love cats were like, we're gonna fucking hunt this guy down, and we're gonna find him, and we're gonna fucking put him to justice.
Oh shit.
And so they followed this guy, and basically he realized that people were trying to figure out who he was, so he would just fuck with them. And make these fake profiles and send them shit, and oh yeah, check this,
send them red herrings.
Yeah, dude, it was so fucked up. But eventually he fucking, and they figured that he was gonna eventually kill a person. That was what they kept saying. They kept telling authorities all over the place, go check this guy out. He's fucked up. He's gonna definitely kill a person. Like, he did this, he did that. They just sounded like crazy people from the internet. Think about somebody telling you that, about go investigate this guy. It sounds like a fucking nutcase.
Yeah.
But it turns out that the guy had murdered a guy, and then like he started just mailing the body parts. Like, he mailed one to the head of Parliament in Canada.
Jesus.
He was fucking sending arms and legs. There's a torso and a suitcase, and like this guy just.
Cats, you're already crazy.
How does my fucking wife not watch this?
Oh, it's fucking nuts. And I remember following it because people were looking up this guy at the time, and then it was like, yo, that guy just posted a video of him cutting this other guy to pieces. Jesus. And he posted a fucking video, and I remember like watching it. It was like, oh my god, he butchers a guy.
Oh my god.
Fucking like stabs him a bunch of times. It's like fucking nuts.
Jesus.
And it was like, holy shit. And the guy that owned that website got brought up on charges. It was like a whole thing.
Holy shit.
As kind of, I guess it should be, but I also agree with the onus of that website, which is like, you should be able to see shit like this because, like, there's times that website has come in handy where some news source will take some fucking footage of a bombing and go, oh, this country just bombed this country and this is the footage. And they look at it, they're like, no, that's from Beirut. Like, that's from our site, that's from this bombing. That's bullshit. That didn't happen. It's propaganda.
Where do we draw the line? Should anybody just be able to witness anything on the internet? I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Snopes was always a pretty good source.
if it's for the sake of education, yeah, well, not anything, obviously.
Like, here's how to decapitate a guy. Like, I've seen guys get decapitated.
Is it how to decapitate a guy, or is it what a decapitation actually looks like?
But don't you think that's going to trigger some people into some copycat kind of shit? I mean, what's the influence?
You don't think movies would do that anyway?
No, I don't.
I think that's the point I'm trying to make. Is that if movies don't do it, I don't think fucking real. I think most people
you're crossing the line between a movie and reality.
Yeah, but I don't think people are just all of a sudden going to be like, wow, now I'm going to go behead a guy because I just watched ISIS do it.
No. There's people who are copycat killers who go out and follow serial killers. You don't hear anybody doing, like, fucking Con Air. You know what I mean? You don't hear anybody doing any fucking Ocean's 11. You know, that maybe they put a couple of people try to pull it off. But I'm just saying, it's like, it's very rare. People know that's fiction, but when you know a real guy out there and you're a fucking psychotic and that real dude gets away with it, you think you can get away with it too. And then you start fucking pulling shit.
The guy didn't get away with it. I mean, I remember, it was like, yeah, he did, but I remember when he got caught, and it was like the news reports came out, and he got caught in a cafe in Germany looking at the Interpol website to see if he was on the most wanted list.
What an idiot.
Like, he was literally looking at himself.
Inspiring to be the best.
Was that hubris or whatever?
Oh, yeah. Not too close to the sun, man. But I don't know, that's kind of in an evil way. I don't know. I don't know that we should be able to witness anything. I think that censorship should be very lenient. But I don't know. I don't know that you need to see, like, somebody being butchered before your eyes. Like, obviously there's age restrictions.
I think there is people that need to see, like
Faces of Death was the thing when I was like 13 and stuff like that. But you had to go through fucking
mail order,
right?
Had to find somebody who had it. Or
$39.99.
A lot of that stuff was like accidents. A lot of it was just animals getting killed.
A lot of it was bullshit.
Cops, like footage from like cops shooting people or like suicidal people.
Well, watch that old fucking. There was that old like drunk driving PSA.
Yeah. Like blood on the highway. Yeah.
I posted some of it.
I love that shit.
Fucking just like a kid's shoes like rolling across the highway. Like it's like the most insane fucking shit. Like I'll never fucking do that. Like. This is what a dead body looked like. They just show like a corpse, like fucking all dead weight. It was fucking nuts, and they show that to kids in a school in the 70s.
Very lenient.
Yeah.
They didn't know any better either, though, apparently. But just saw a PSA. I don't know. I can't verify if it was real, but it was a video. Dude was his girlfriend was ready for sex. He handcuffs her to the closet and says he rigged the room with explosives, and then leaves and blows up the room because premarital sex is a sin.
What?
Yeah. It's it's an older.
That's ridiculous. And so is your phone ringing in the middle of this show.
Jesus.
Hello?
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, who's this? Oh, hey, Amazing Amy, it's the Contortionist. We're doing a podcast right now. Oh, no, that's okay. Say hi to the people on Cult of Contempt.
Hello, this is Amazing Amy, eccentric contortion entertainer from New York City.
I'll get in touch with you tonight or tomorrow, okay?
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
What are the chances that she calls now? So she is, wasn't she like the 70-year-old contortionist who was supposed to perform while your band was performing?
Alright, so I went into Evil Expo with a message that I might have misread, but as I thought I read it, the Contortionist wanted to perform like with music like while we were playing.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know about that. Like, that's fine. I don't care, personally. I think
suggested she do burlesque.
I think she would
know how you feel about that.
I think she would more care because of how kind of we break each other's balls.
Right.
Just we fuck around. Like,
take away from it.
Yeah, I don't exactly. I don't want her to think we're fucking with her performance.
Okay.
So it turns out I knew her. When I got there and I saw who she was, like, oh, you're the Contortionist. I was on a show called Ruin Who with her. That was shot in Otto's Shrunken Head. They used to do it every week, Wednesdays. Sounds good, right?
Yeah, right.
And so I remember seeing her on there and like, oh, okay, like, it clicked because you don't forget that arm, that muscle that she had.
Like I knew who she was, not personally like who she was, but I knew. I was like, oh, that's a Contortionist. As we were leaving, I was like, Cindy's like, how do you know? I was like, how do you not think that's who that is?
Yeah, no, that's a Contortionist.
Yeah.
And so I got to perform with her, too, playing acoustic guitar.
That's cool.
Which was, it was fun. Me and Jordan went up there, and I just played some minor chords. I was very tired after my set.
Right.
My hand was definitely, like, feeling it towards...
You start cramping up and shit.
Oh, my God. I played for, like, 20 minutes, I think. And I'm pretty sure, like, 10, 20 minutes, somewhere around between there.
Yep.
And I was feeling it.
You were up there for a while?
I was up there for quite some time.
Yeah.
And then I decided to do a plank. A backwards bridge. She was doing her Q&A and
okay.
I don't know, I just got tired of sitting there with my guitar. Much like a small child, tired of sitting in an audience. And I got up and did something about it. I did a bridge.
I didn't have any attention on me for 5 minutes. Yeah. Let me do a bridge.
I was tired. No, something needed to happen. Nobody was asking questions. My friend framed his question with, I was outside talking to the security guard. Can you do it again? I'm like, what are you doing, man?
I missed it. Do it again. Let's go.
Come on. Chop, chop.
Faster.
Gyrate.
Not only is that lady huge, but I mean, she got down and did some contortion stuff, but didn't she have her hips replaced and stuff like that? Like, this isn't a young woman.
She's had more surgeries than, like, Rowdy Piper did.
It's ridiculous.
Like, Jesus.
It's ridiculous. And we're going to have her on. So that'll be fun.
Fit in the box.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, we're going to have her on.
What kind of bug we had to leave?
Do I?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got an assignment, Phil. Are you gonna fuck this up, or are you
Probably.
gonna man up?
No, I can. I don't know.
Phil, don't be that guy.
She
Phil.
can meet me at Penn Station at 5:30.
Okay.
7:30. Phil's just gonna be sitting on the shirt.
Oh shit! We're supposed to do something.
We can get lunch.
He sounds like an old boxer.
Right. So the Evil Expo. Some people were trying to kind of compare it to Chiller. I think it was kind of a different thing than Chiller. Chiller, I think, is more like horror people, like stars oriented. This seemed more like a cosplay and performances.
It's like more like a fan convention.
Yeah. Which I thought was cooler in a way, you know, because you got to see all the different costumes. There were a lot of good costumes.
A lot of good costumes. Joker and Harley Quinn were awesome.
Those were good.
There was Poison Ivy's.
Right.
Yeah.
She
did a thing for the
tutorial.
Oh, there was a makeup tutorial?
Yeah.
Is that what that back corner was?
Yeah, they had, she had, I guess they had like a haunted house up in upstate New York or something like that, like they do. the guy was telling me, but I got the kid, and I'm just like, I'm listening, and I'm like, all right, don't touch nothing. Don't touch nothing. Like, he'll just take it.
There was a nice big Audrey too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A gremlin.
Saw that. That was awesome.
A gremlin with the controls like still attached. It didn't work though.
Yeah, he used to like design all those things for like Jim Henson or something.
That was amazing seeing a lot of stuff.
And then they had something called Mood Monsters, which the champ left with 2 of them. I don't know what the price on them were. There's pretty awkward backstory about, like, I guess the monster was eating people that you didn't like or that upset you, and then wound up eating you at the end. It's like, hey, cool, we should just read that to him every night. Maybe he'll go to sleep. You gotta read like 15 books to this kid at the end of the day.
Oh man.
Yeah, he loves reading. It's just crazy.
Well, that's good.
I don't know that 3-year-olds
Does he?
read.
He can like look at words and
Yeah,
know,
he can finish the book, like finish the sentence if you start it. He knows a lot of books by heart already. He blew his library challenge out of the water.
Nice.
Like,
wow.
So if he's not a fighter, like if he doesn't fight or become an athlete, he's fine because he's a genius. He's smarter than me already, so I'm not even. I might have CTE though, so who knows?
007 or something.
He might be. Switch that.
I'm telling you, we need to use this kid for a bank heist because he can crawl through the air conditioning ducts. And that's what you always need, somebody that can crawl.
He's actually like a 52-year-old Russian man.
He's like Ivan Volkov.
I'm convinced.
He's just gonna come out.
Give me cookies, right?
He's gonna come out with like gold chains and a cigar and like 5 o'clock shadow.
Oh my god.
And we're just gonna do shots.
Just catch him in between shaves. Like, oh, I knew it. You're too smart.
Oh,
he's Russian. He is Russian. So.
Okay.
So I have a goofy Evil Expo story. So like I was having problems, like my phone was just dropping like a rock. So I was like tethered to plugs all day. So I went into the back room and I thought they were going to be playing like 20s movies, and I just sit back there and watch and plug in my phone and hopefully get some more juice to take more stuff for this show. So the movie guy wasn't there, so this medium sat down, and I don't really believe in the afterlife, ghosts, all that stuff. I don't. So she's talking and she's telling us about getting rid of negativity by creating this ball and throwing it out to the universe. And she said, and she goes, "Are you all still fondling your balls?" I said, "Good night, everybody," and I walked out.
Nice.
Well, I guess if you fondle your balls enough, you get rid of some negativity.
Yeah, at least for a little while.
Yeah.
That's why I was watching the movie about Chris Watts the other day on Lifetime. The guy who killed his family.
Which one?
He killed his family, like his wife and his kids. And
recently?
Is
yeah,
that the
like
guy
in the last year?
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the guy who's Amityville Horror was based on.
No.
Oh, okay.
And so
Like in Colorado.
I was like, yeah, out in Colorado, yes. And I was watching that, and I'm like, the guy in the middle of the day, he's watching porn in his living room with the volume turned loud, like, I don't know, he's got like a nice house. It's like, what was his fucking problem? Like, he's got porn in the middle of the day, nice and loud, and like water in the fridge. He's just chilling out.
Water in the fridge.
Yeah, he was just happy. It was like the weirdest, because Lifetime too. They're not gonna show what like a guy watching porn actually looks like. He was just sitting there like this.
It's gross.
Just like watching it, like as if he was like watching the news, and then just like, all right, turned it off. Time to go get some water. Like just went. It was like the fucking like this isn't a bad life.
I'm parched.
I'm parched from watching all this porn. So still.
So what was the breaking point to get him to kill his family?
He was just a fucking asshole. He like what I noticed too. He doubled down on like, all right, he was like cheating on his wife who was pregnant with the third kid. He was cheating on her with this other chick, and he would tell her, "Oh, me and my wife are done. We're done. We're not together anymore. I'm done with her. And then he would tell his wife, "Honey, I love you. I'm so sorry for what I've done." He was just doubling down everywhere. And it got to the point where it's like, now he has nothing. Like, he had nothing to lose because he had nothing left. It was like so fucked up. I mean, he had something to lose. He lost his whole fucking family. It was his fault. The guy's an asshole.
Is he in jail or did he kill himself?
No, he's in jail. He was the guy that did the interview where he's like, "I just want my family to come home," but he was like talking about him in the past tense. you know, in the news interview, like all nervous. I watched that as it was happening. I caught it live. I was at lunch and like, that guy's guilty as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, watch that guy. That is a guilty man.
It's fucking creepy.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
Was it the same old story? The neighbors thought he was just a nice guy, and they were
Everybody
surprised.
thought, yeah, you know, he seemed like a decent dude.
Like, I vaguely remember it, like seeing like clips of it and stuff, people talking about him, and like being baffled on like what happened.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. They got him for like feticide or infanticide because the unborn baby and shit. Like,
oh fuck.
You know,
so that's life, but.
Yeah, no, he ain't getting out of jail. Yeah, but I was like,
you don't usually
he's danger to himself and others.
Family members.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I think he gave his life to God now.
But it really depends on
boy.
that. Some people get killed.
Was he a drug addict?
Yeah.
No, it didn't seem like he was partying really or nothing like that. He was just fucking.
There's people who have killed people who are definitely not.
Because sometimes the mentally ill, do things they're not supposed to do.
You know, there's certain people who just don't go to jail.
Yeah, but they used a ridiculous law in Florida.
Well, yeah, that's just insane. Stand your ground law, whatever, just like shit.
Stand your ground.
Yeah. But no, I think once you start killing multiple family members, you don't get away with that.
Yeah.
That's what we draw the line
Eventually,
here.
you
Cult of Contempt. Don't kill your family. The more you know.
Other suspects.
Well,
there's nobody left
I think
but
there's
me.
something fucking psychotic. I really couldn't understand. Like, I really couldn't wrap my head around killing anybody. But I understand sometimes why people want to kill people. Like,
I can understand it completely.
Sometimes people behave in a certain way, and it's like, I can see why somebody in this situation, in their worst mindset, might commit murder because you are fucking really annoying.
Yeah. You can understand the reasoning.
But I couldn't understand doing it to the kids. Like,
so, pretty dark turn. I have an uncle. It's all through marriage. No, I guess my aunt's technically blood. An uncle years ago murdered my grandmother and his 2 daughters because he found out my aunt was going to divorce him.
Holy
shit. Yeah, that was like September '99.
Holy
fucking insane. Didn't have a personal relationship with them, but literally tore, like, I was 13, tore my life up, like, turned everything upside down. I dropped out of freaking 8th grade, just stayed home, became an alcoholic at like 13 years old for like 6 months.
Get out.
Yeah, and then wound up in DIFUS and stuff because my mom was doing even worse shit than I was doing.
Holy shit,
Fuck,
man.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, it's
But I don't understand.
It's insane. Like, I couldn't possibly
drove
imagine.
him to that.
Couldn't possibly
Why
imagine.
did you kill the grandmother and not the aunt?
Well, my aunt wasn't home. I have 2. There's 2 boys. There were 2 boys, 2 girls. He left one boy hid in the closet. He left the baby in the crib, and then killed all the girls because something about like his boys keeping like his legacy alive, like psychotic shit, and then taking out all the females in the family.
How do you take him out if you don't mind my asking?
Oh, he stabbed him to death.
Holy shit.
Came home, pulled out a butcher knife out of the
I'm guessing.
Well, I'm sad now. Show's over, folks.
It's crazy, but my
Holy
aunt,
fuck.
like my aunt who it happened to, was like super fucking tough, and like one of the biggest influences in my life. Like, she's fucking amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, that makes you.
Like, oh yeah, like you don't fuck with her.
Yeah, that'll make you fucking hardened, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Holy shit.
She's a very strong and inspiring person.
God bless her.
Yeah, really.
Seriously. Just I don't know. We got on the topic, and I was like, oh yeah, like I'm very open. Like, I tell that story to people. Like, obviously, I don't even know. Like, I'm very just open about random stuff.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I keep trying to tell my friend that too, because it's like he's trying to start a podcast, and like I tell him, it's like, just be honest, like about anything, about your experiences, about whatever, negative, positive. Like, if you're honest with the world, you know, I think they can tell, like.
Yeah.
You know, something like
genuine,
that.
Just being genuine.
Being genuine, yeah. And it's like, it's good for you, it's good for them, and I think it'll help people. Like, that's why I love Artie Lang's podcast, which is all about, he's like all about like recovery and shit now, and he's doing he seems to be doing like super well. Like,
well, that's good.
I'm psyched. You know, he was so, well, his nose is like all fucked up, but he tells that story. Basically, a guy thought he was rich and punched him in the face, and from all the cocaine, it just collapsed.
Oh,
fucking. And then also too, like after that, his girlfriend was breaking up some drug with the bottom of like a salt shaker, and the salt shaker broke. So she tried to like separate the drugs from the broken glass without much success. And then he snorted it, and that's what happened. Like it all rotted out inside, basically. Yeah, so you should listen to the Artie Lang podcast, and it's a great message to not do drugs. And
I am so glad Coach did not agree with me.
Yeah, just smoke pot, people.
Hey, I have an MMA question. Sure. Does the MMA community find those who go to WWF for the big bank? Did they lose credibility? Like that one woman?
Ronda?
Shayna
Shayna Baszler just, no offense to her, just wasn't a really good MMA fighter. Like she was good, but she wasn't like elite, and if you're not elite or a top level, you don't stick around.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. You go to WWE, you can make money. Like granted, it's just as shitty as a company as UFC. But if you're not going to make it, what's the point of sticking it around unless you're very, very dedicated? Yeah. Ronda Rousey gets hate not really for going to WWE, but for being a crybaby and complaining and all this shit afterwards. Brock Lesnar, everybody's torn on him because he's a freak of nature and he can break your face. But everyone's like, oh, he's old if he's not on steroids or this. He's still a mountain of a man. And he's got huge hands. Like, he's not a great fighter, and he doesn't like being punched in the face. But nobody really gave Cain Velasquez, who was the last guy to really do it. He was a big name in UFC, got injured, had a couple losses. He went to wrestling, and nobody really gave him too much crap.
But you know what, though? He's fucking awesome at wrestling.
Yes. He took to it like that.
Yeah, and he's weird, too. It's like, he's one of those guys that he's got all the goods in terms of, like, bringing in the ring. But he's got a really weird fucking look. Like, he looks like an MMA guy.
He's built like a.
But he's not like in like wrestling shape. Like he doesn't look. Flabby. Yeah, he's kind of like a fucking like regular looking dude. Right. So it's like I'm curious to see how is he gonna shape up, or
if they gave him a diet, or like he like got a better diet. Or tried to slim down.
But does Vince McMahon even care? Because he's already
the ability.
Yeah, he's a name. He's
and it's money.
Have you seen Keith Lee? Keith Lee is over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And he's phenomenal. He's probably one of the best things going in the business.
So is there a learning curve going from MMA to WWF? Like not to kick people for real?
Well, you practice. You hit pads. I guess I guess when you're sparring, you can pull back your strength. You know your power.
But wouldn't you just instinctively accidentally throw a real punch? I think that
it's definitely happened in matches. Involved like that Daniel Puder Kurt Angle thing years ago.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
So what happened?
No, that wasn't even a.
It wasn't a wrestling
punch.
No, it was just a grappling.
That was Daniel Puder was
tough enough.
Yeah, but what he did shit in UFC too.
I don't know if he was in it. He was an MMA guy. I don't know if he made it to the UFC. I know he had like an amateur record or whatever, and he was supposed to just have like a old school like grappling match with Kurt Angle. And
Kurt Angle, who's an NCAA champion,
right?
Wrestling champion,
Olympic.
And they kind of assumed that Kurt Angle's gonna be able to run through any of these guys. Like they were all going at him kind of for real, and he was fucking tossing them all about until Daniel Puder.
And he was not. He didn't lay down. Like he was just like he actually went for it. And Kurt Angle really wasn't expecting that. There's a gold medalist. Like he's gonna half-ass, and then like he almost didn't. Like Kurt Angle almost didn't do whatever he was supposed to do, which I guess was just last the time.
Yeah, Daniel Puder almost like ruined the
entire
angle because Kurt Angle was supposed to beat all these guys. They're supposed to be rookies,
right?
And it was supposed to be like they're really going for it, and he fucking does the amateur wrestling thing, throws him
under like a minute.
Under a minute, and this guy fucking got him in like a weird hold. And what he did, like Kurt Angle basically laid down and had that guy's his shoulders weren't even on the mat. but the ref saw like, oh, I better count this 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we're not gonna get another chance at it.
Yeah, and because he would have broken Kurt Angle's arm or something like that, whatever the hell he had him in. I forget what hold it was.
Did McMahon fire that guy on the spot, or?
I think he. I don't know if he had his Royal Rumble debut after that or before that, because I know they beat the crap out of him in the Royal Rumble. Like they just hit him with these vicious chops.
Yeah, Undertaker, I remember.
Hardcore Holly, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero. They basically hated.
They were code redding him from that Nicholson movie.
And they
right?
just chopped the
Who wanted to code red?
And those they hurt. Like I get hit with them from a 3-year-old. I couldn't imagine from those dudes. I'm in Booker T. He's 6'4".
The slap to the chest, that was like Hogan's bread and butter back in the day. Like
no, that was Ric Flair's bread and butter.
Hulk Hogan.
But he would slap. I remember when he'd fight like Yokozuna, and all he could do is just like slap him.
Because there's no he has no moves.
Yeah, Hogan had no moves. I've been saying this to him since this podcast.
That's what I say about my sexual prowess. I had 5 moves like Hulk Hogan.
It's like John Cena's fucking
5 moves. Yeah, dude, yeah.
Fucking Hogan. Oh my god, can't stand it. I never liked him as a kid. I always just thought it was.
So who was your favorite as a kid? I would say top 5. Don't give me one. Give me.
Well,
favorite guys.
Like when I was younger, it was always Ultimate Warrior and Savage. You had Bret Hart. You had Shawn Michaels. Went like 95.
Yeah.
90, like when he started doing the whole.
Is Shawn Michaels out? Is he retired?
He's out, but he
depends on.
If they go to Saudi
Arabia money.
Yeah, $50 million for the show, they come back. They gave Undertaker or.
Because he's the. Well, I mean, he was in since the 80s as the Rockers.
He's in great shape.
What, 85, 86?
A 50-something-year-old.
Yeah.
But like watching them wrestle is so just. It's cringeworthy. They fuck up.
Right.
Goldberg gave himself a concussion before the biggest match of his career against the Undertaker.
That was not going to ever be the biggest match of his career.
No, the biggest name. That's the biggest name he can wrestle.
But I think that's the biggest. Yeah, you're right. That's the biggest name he can wrestle.
WCW.
But what I think they should have done with Goldberg is fucking I don't know if you watched the Royal Rumble, but Matt Riddle came out, and I wanted to see Goldberg come out right after him and just kick his ass. But they should have put Goldberg against somebody that was like younger, like that's a younger tier guy. They did that with. They put him against.
I thought Goldberg was done, an actor now.
But they bring him back for Saudi Arabia money, and they make him fight another guy that's like fucking 70 years old. They fought the Undertaker.
It's the dream matches that they ignored 10, 15
years ago. Okay.
Yeah, so now we're gonna get Sting fighting the Undertaker in Saudi Arabia, and the Prince is gonna be like, "This is great.
Yeah.
This pleases me.
I will do more crimes against humanity."
They asked for somebody who wasn't even alive.
Yeah, they asked for Yokozuna.
Yeah.
And like they asked for guys like the Saudi Prince was like, "Oh, I'd like to see Roddy Piper." It's like, dude, Roddy Piper's like fucking dead. Like, and if he wasn't, he'd be like 80 years old.
Well, didn't they give the Piper persona to Ronda Rousey?
She got that because she knew him from before he died. Like I guess the trainer.
They were pals.
That's cool.
He gave her like the blessing or whatever, but.
But it wasn't the same.
Like she was good for the sport.
That?
She was good for the sport of MMA. She was in WWE. People, all right, cool. The women's evolution and stuff, great for that. But other than that, she's just as a person, she's kind of sucky.
Oh, is she? Okay. She was she the one in that Entourage movie that was beating up Turtle?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. She's kind of hot. I don't know. I'd let her smack me around. I got nothing better to do. Rhonda, what are you doing Sunday?
There were some other good fucking times in wrestling too, and it became like a shoot.
Yeah.
As they say, like Dan Severn and Ken Shamrock, like
they
were in UFC together.
You have real life animosity in the mixed martial arts world, and then you're like working, like you're making money, but hey, let's spar, basically.
Yeah.
Just smacking the crap out of each other.
And that was like, I always thought Ken Shamrock would have been bigger as a star. Like he came over from UFC. He was kind of like.
I don't think they knew what to do with something like that at that point.
Yeah.
And if you make a huge MMA star, which MMA wasn't that big back then, but you make him a star in the WWE, like a big star. What if he leaves? He goes back to your competition in the MMA world, and they become.
It's not really competition. I mean, I know Vince McMahon sees it as that, but it's really an entirely. Most of the people
a different world, but it's becoming the same thing because everybody's got a gimmick now. I don't know, like, how you guys follow.
They definitely crossed over into UFC. Everybody's kind of got their like character.
It's crazy.
Do they do the dumb interviews where they're like?
Conor McGregor like talks more shit than anybody.
Connor's you know, Connor's got a lot of fanboys, but he's also a piece of shit, especially if any of the stuff that he's been not charged with, but any of the allegations against him are true. He's fucking horrible.
Well, let's go through those. What are some of them?
Rape? Like, there's
God!
There's a couple rape allegations from, like, I don't know if it's Ireland or Europe or whatever. He punched an old guy in the bar, like a 50-year-old dude in the bar, for whatever reason.
Holy shit.
He took some dude's phone. I would have taken this guy's phone and thrown it too, though. There was some, like, really annoying fan. But, you know, there's a lot of...
Well, I know he threw the fucking thing through
the dolly. Yeah,
yeah, like that was out of control.
Unnecessary. The worst thing he's done? Apparently not.
No, not the worst thing he's done, but I thought
it was unnecessary.
I saw that.
On the top of that list.
Well, yeah,
rape is worse than throwing a dolly.
There's no, because it's over there, like it's an island, like, you know, you can't say anything. You can't release names. And
it's
stuff.
fucking Ireland.
But there's all these, like, they do publish things, and there's no names, but it's a sports star, it's this, it's that. Like, there's no harm.
Yeah, a blind item, they call it.
So, but, yeah, he sucks. Like, he just beat the shit out of one of my favorite fighters, but in like 40 seconds a couple Sundays ago.
You think he's gonna make the jump to the WWE?
He could.
I think he will.
He could. Well, honestly, it all really depends on how his legal shit pans out. He can do whatever he wants. Dana's gonna do whatever he wants. Whatever Conor wants to do, that's what Dana White's gonna do.
He doesn't still have both of those belts, right?
No, he has no belts.
No belts. Right? He got what did they just strip him of both?
I think that was somebody. Yeah. No, Khabib.
He lost one of them.
And they stripped him of one.
Of one, okay.
Like, he didn't fight forever, and he came back, and they put him against Cowboy, and like there's a laundry list of reasons why. Probably not the greatest matchup for Cowboy, favorable for Conor. Conor beat him he hit him with his shoulder a bunch of times and broke his nose and his orbital bone.
That's dirty.
Literally, no, it's.
That's allowed in MMA?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's part. You can't.
You learn something new every day.
You can't kick a guy in the head.
So we can hit Phil with our shoulders. When
you get in the clinch.
Yeah.
You throw your shoulder into it.
I thought you fucking shoulder checked a lady in that video.
No.
He's practices in MMA. He's the champ going.
No.
All right. I'm going to defend Phil this time. I watched the video. I watched the video a few times. He just went like this to let her pass.
Exactly. Like a gentleman.
Yeah. From when I looked at it, I was like, holy shit. It looked like
you just told us where it was.
Like you just checked that lady like, bitch, get out of the way. Cunt.
See, this is what happens when all you do is watch murder and MMA and wrestling. You just think everybody's throwing people around.
Yeah, I see it all the time.
See?
I gotta be honest. I'm not a huge MMA guy.
Are you looking for it?
It's I'd say it's an acquired taste. Like, it's not.
It's just a lot of, like, when the holds go on forever, I get so freaking bored.
It's definitely more advanced than it used to be. But you have to really enjoy the sport. Like, there's a lot. Like, grappling is the #1 aspect of the sport, and it's insane. Like, when you see them and it looks like they're just rolling around, those transitions take so much skill because it's. Think if somebody's on your back and they want to go this way, all you have to do is turn this way, right?
Right.
But like you have to think so many moves ahead and then getting up and the strike. Like if you're not an avid fan, a lot of people will call you casuals. If you're a casual fan, like you're missing a lot because there's insane knockouts. There's people getting knocked out in 8 seconds, running across the cage and throwing a knee. Knocking dude out.
But not Kevin James in that terrible movie.
I love Kevin James. He's such a funny fat man.
He's a big fan of MMA too.
Yeah, he
used
to be at all the shit. Like Michael Duncan Clark used to be at all the early shows. Like back in the day. Like there's a lot of celebrities that are. It's becoming.
Did
more
you enjoy
mainstream.
that movie? That Kevin James movie?
I enjoy a lot of his movies.
No,
it wasn't
Here Comes
horrible.
the Moon.
Yeah, Here Comes the Moon. It wasn't horrible, but I also.
I just thought it was a dumb premise.
A dumb concept.
A high school teacher wrestling coach.
Technically,
becomes an MMA fighter and wins the big one.
Rich Franklin used to be, this is a couple, maybe 10 years ago, but he was like a math teacher, an English teacher, and started training himself in MMA, and was actually the middleweight champion of the.
Wow, he got into it that late.
Rich Franklin, he was like 20 something, I think.
Holy
Randy
shit.
Couture was old as shit too, man, and he fought until his like 50s, I believe, or like almost his 50s, like 46, 47, and he was whipping people's ass.
I keep thinking about getting into wrestling. I'm like, DDP did it when he was 35.
Yeah, like he just was like, fuck it, might as well. And he's literally still wrestling.
Dude, he wrestled a couple weeks ago. He jumped off the top rope. This guy's like 65.
Yeah,
he
great
jumped
shape.
off the top rope to the outside.
Yeah.
Like, that's like
they
a 30
catch you,
foot
but
fall.
still, it's like, oh, fuck it. And he's old, like really old.
Yeah, he don't want to take that onto the fucking mat. Like,
No,
he's got to be caught by people that he trusts.
Yeah.
You don't fuck with that. That's
No.
DDP.
That's the thing, though. Like wrestling, like I feel like in pro wrestling, you're more successful after you're 40. Like if you think about it, like Randy Orton, Triple H, all those dudes are like they're pushing 40, they're over 40. Like once 40 to 50 is your golden age for being a wrestler.
Jesse the Body
I
really
disagree.
got his
I
fame
think
after
it's
40.
like 15 years.
Once you're there for 15
I
years.
think once you're there 15 years, you're there. Like that's
well, there's a lot of new talent, but like I just feel overall like once they start in their like early 20s.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
20s,
15
30s.
years for the culmination of it. Like maybe the last 5 years you're in the WWE, but
Well, they're buying all the talent around the world at this point.
Yeah.
because they have so much fucking content. They
yeah,
have shows every.
they own all these other promotions now too, or like
Well,
they're affiliated
brands.
Yeah.
NXT, they have a United Kingdom.
There's
based
the other.
organization.
There's the other one too. It's like Chakra or something. I forget what it is.
Shakara or something.
One of them.
There's a lot of indie shows.
Chitara. I'm sorry.
A lot of indie shows.
Yeah, and they have a hand in now.
They've gotten better with like letting their talent go back to their roots and perform at like bigger events.
Yeah.
But also like if you get the call to come to like the big stage, or you get the call better, you have to go to NXT. You're like, oh yeah.
They didn't let CM Punk go back to Ring of Honor.
Well, no, they didn't really like CM Punk.
But could you imagine if they did? How fucking good that would
Well,
have
who would have thought he was coming back?
He's not.
Who was that?
Yeah, didn't he mess?
Never coming back.
He's on
Didn't he
WWE.
mess
He's
himself
never
up?
coming back.
Like, didn't he have an injury though? That was like.
No, he got hurt. He had a staph infection and everything. He got hurt. The WWE medical just really dropped the ball, and then I don't know. I think he got fired.
He got fucked up.
He got fired.
'Cause there was like a
and
plane ride.
He walked away. I can't wrestling Twitter kill me, but they're freaking
But
savage.
it involved a concussion, I think I remember.
All types of shit. He was pretty banged up, and he was still wrestling, and he left, and he wasn't gonna come back. He just came back. He's more of an analyst, but he's not working for WWE.
Yeah, he works for
Fox. So he's on a WWE broadcast as an analyst, and that's like.
Well, at least he'll get medical benefits for working for Fox.
Well, he went to MMA. He had 2 UFC fights, and he got his ass whipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy was Mickey Gall's
Mickey Gall?
fucking roommate in college in Rutgers.
Mickey Gall is the only fighter that's from Jersey that I don't like.
Why?
Because I don't. That's it. Like I have that personality. If I don't like you, I just don't like
You
you.
just don't like him.
We went to UFC Newark. People next to us were cheering for Gall, and I'm yelling that Gall sucked. Like fuck that dude. I don't know. He's just too cocky. He's too cocky, and he hasn't done enough to show me that you should be that cocky, like as a fighter, like as a fan of the sport.
I respect that.
Like I've been watching just.
Yeah, if you're gonna be an asshole, at least like put up. Or
There's some really good they're assholes, but they've proven their shit. Like, so.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you proven your shit, Paul?
I proved my shit.
When did you prove your shit?
I proved my shit for 15 years. That's why I think that's the magic
There you
number.
go.
After 15 years, everyone likes
15 years is
it's
doing something.
15 years, legend. Legend.
Not there yet, I don't think. Not like
There's something about
Double
saying
legend.
I've been doing
That's
this for
actually
15 years.
It's actually a very common compliment in Australia, apparently.
Legend?
Yeah.
I feel like it gets thrown around an awful lot.
One of my buddies on Twitter, like that, literally everything's Twitter. He's from Australia, Smokey J, and
Smokey J.
like we call him a legend. He's like it's common over there. But he's a fucking legend. He has these bad drawings. Like he'll do these bad drawings of fighters, and they look like the fighter, but it's just not very good. He actually got them printed on mugs and shirts and shit. It's awesome.
Nice.
Awesome.
Sometimes abstract is fun.
Oh yeah, like they've gotten they started out really shitty.
I had a friend who had a stick figure Star Wars page, and it was like the Emperor holding Han Solo sideways, and then he was saying like hokey religions, and then it was the Emperor was gonna kill him.
There's whole Instagram pages of just people drawing stuff badly that you can laugh at every day, which is kind of fun.
I'd say I could do that with the champ, but he's got some stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he painted me this stick thing.
I almost forgot about that, honestly. Oh. Like we paint, we have like all kinds of stuff.
When I was handed this, it was still wet. It says "Rock On." You can't see, but it's beautiful colors.
Put it in my bag, wet. It was down on my title.
It was wet. It was still wet. And I was like, nice. That's how you know the artist is legit. The champ made me that. It says "Rock On."
Nice.
And that's what I do. I rock on.
Trying to get him to get the double ones going. Trying. He just starts counting. He's like 2. Yep. You got.
Yeah, he knows you're holding up 2 fingers.
Oh, he can count to like 30.
Hey man, the peace sign, that's not the worst thing either, especially for a kid that knows how to throw knees.
Well, we have rules. We do have rules. Like he doesn't. He was at the library. Some kid scratched his hand and he didn't punch him in the face. Like my kid is like. The champ is very, very well behaved. He's very respectful to everybody except for like me and his one cousin Gigi because she's a jerk. So that's it. He doesn't like her. He yells at her. But he knows he's not supposed to punch or kick anybody else except for me. He doesn't always know when that's allowed because it's almost
you just wake up, hey champ, you want breakfast, and he kicks you in the nuts.
He's caged. He's caged. We have a gate.
You put him in a cage?
I should.
You should. It sounds like
he's basically It's we have the gate up. He can't open it yet. But every morning 6 o'clock, Daddy, I want to get up. Go ahead and get up, dude. Like you can turn on your light. You don't need me for much in the morning, but it's a non-stop job. So
yep.
It's fun though. It's fun. Like I'm glad he doesn't suck. I'm glad he's not boring.
Yeah, he's fun, man.
I know that's horrible.
Yeah,
but I could, if he just wanted to sit there and do nothing all the time,
Does he give a shit about like phones and screens?
He's got an iPad, bro. He loves his iPad.
Does he? Okay.
But we do ABC Mouse, which is like learning and counting and songs and stuff. He gets his YouTube. I catch him constantly watching things in different languages. Yeah. Like he watches like Old McDonald or something, but it's in Spanish or it's in Chinese. And I'm like, I don't know if you understand it, but after like 2 or 3 songs, you gotta change it because I'm going crazy because I don't speak any other language besides English, and not very well. So that's that. But he likes to go out, and like I have video. Like he can run 100 yards in like a minute.
Wow. Holy shit.
Which I don't know how that measures up, but I've definitely filmed him. We have a football field right by the house. We go there, play soccer. Like he's definitely very active, and it sucks when it's cold out because I don't like the cold, and he doesn't care.
God bless him. I got him to say forget about it.
Yes. Anything. He's been in the car with my wife, and they stopped at a red light, and he was like, "What the fuck?" Great. And then he doubled down, he repeated it, and then she's texting me like, "What?" I'm like, "Well, it's only a matter of time before he starts screaming dog dick." Because I'm trying to replace things that I say, and dog dick is just something that I...
Dog dick!
Yeah, and like she yelled at me and I'm like, what's wrong? It's dog dick. Like dogs have dicks. Like I'm not doing anything wrong. Right? I'm not screaming. He says shit all the time.
You just have to set the precedent with him of like, you don't say this anywhere.
We give him context.
Like, yeah.
And that's the number one thing you can give your kids, like context. Like let them know, like look. Yeah, I said this, but I'm older than you. Like, this is why I said it.
I had no idea as a kid what fungal meant until I said it to my mother, and I regretted that one. Oh man, no, my mom fucking mean. Oh man.
Where did you hear fungal that you would say that to your mom?
My mom.
Oh, so she would say it all the time. She didn't want me to say it. That you were saying fuck. She was saying fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
First of all, we couldn't wait to learn all the bad words and use them on the fucking grade school playground. That was
learning to curse. I got to learn like English curses, and I grew up in a predominantly like Spanish neighborhood, so I got to learn all the bad Spanish words.
Oh yeah.
Saying them and then like oh, say this to my mom. Oh, okay. And then say it, and then their mom like smacked me in the back of the head.
You're gonna get a fucking sandal thrown right at your face.
Oh, I slept over at one of my best friend's house one night, and I was sleeping over with him. And his older brother had a buddy sleeping over. We were all in the same room, fucking around. she came in, and I guess she thought that her son was on the floor. She straight just kicked me in the head, and she turned on the light, and she realized who she kicked, and she said, "Oh, white boy, I'm so sorry," because that was my nickname growing up, was white boy. She said, "Oh, white boy, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." Like, it's okay, whatever. Like, what am I gonna do? Yell at you? Think you're gonna whip my ass?
I remember being in middle school and figuring out what cum was. And then they did the tenses. How'd you come, coming, came, and I just like cracked up. And then the substitute teacher, this bitch, her name was Mrs. Gaynor. She looked at me. She went, "Grow up," and I just could not stop laughing. I was crying because this big, aggressive, ugly woman was like, "Come, coming, came." It was like I lost it. I fucking lost it.
And now he pays a woman to say that to him.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you spell it with a U?
I don't know. I couldn't see the balloon coming out of her mouth.
When I was 5 years old, I told the 6-year-old girl down the street that she was a bitch. I don't remember what game we were playing, but she like cheated or something. And I called her a bitch. And she's like, "I'm gonna tell your mother." I was like, "Fuck you, I don't care." Then she told my mom whooped my ass and then dragged me over there to apologize to her mother.
Yeah.
And that's how they did things in the early 80s.
I was born in '86. I grew up through the 90s, and I got my ass whipped plenty of times. Deservedly, and then I was also like, I had the shit kicked out of me. I also grew up hanging out like in the middle of Jersey City in the 90s. So if I didn't get my ass kicked at home, I got my ass kicked on the street. You know?
Right.
I'm the only white kid in my neighborhood.
Boy,
so
yeah.
I grew up tough. My mom, oh my gosh, and she went crazy after a while. So like, not they never declared it, but she's fucking nuts.
Right. Yeah, mine too.
You gotta be like ahead of your crazy. Like you could like realize like, okay, like that's fucking nutty. I shouldn't do.
Well,
that.
you get you're fucking crazy, and then you're substance abuse and stuff. So.
Exactly, but what I'm saying is like as a clear-headed person, like
yes,
like I remember growing up as a kid and seeing people like fucked up around me, like okay, like
see all the homeless or
like yeah, like I'll get this fucked up, but like I don't want to get so fucked up that I don't have a house like this. Like I'm living on the street here.
My godfather was actually homeless, so like we lived with my godmother for an extended period of time when I was like young, before my first brother was born. And
were they together?
No, they weren't. They were brother and sister.
Oh, okay.
But he was an alcoholic. Like he wasn't even like into hard drugs. He was an alcoholic and he would get like pissed drunk all the time. My godmother kicked him down the stairs one time. She was fucking crazy. She's an old Italian lady.
Yeah, they don't fuck around.
No, literally, I had to like kneel on raw rice and shit when I was younger. Like that was a punishment.
Oh my god! Because they went to Catholic school.
Stand in the corner for like 8 hours. Literally, she was fucking crazy. Like I gotta write a book at some point, but I'm just too lazy to write. Just dictate to my
and think about that shit too. It's like that's shit that like in a million years I would never fucking tell my kid to do that. Like stand in the corner for that's nuts. It's like a punishment that like you learn nothing.
It's
like,
corporal punishment.
When I was a kid, like my parents would at least like you're grounded, but like you're allowed to read. Okay, that's good. Like I'm not just gonna sit here and let my brain rot for
when I got
weeks, you know?
grounded after my sister were born. My mom stayed with that guy. If I got grounded, I lost everything. I basically just go to school, come home, stay in bed, do nothing.
Yeah.
If not, like he'd keep.
But I see what Paul's saying. That like becomes wasted time. You're suiting the child better by
at least if the kids
doing something constructive.
They're reading or whatever. It's like, do you want to play with their toys? No, they're punished. But words on a page, that's not gonna do any harm. Even if they're reading fucking Chuck Palahniuk or some crazy shit, like whatever. They're engaging their mind.
Right.
It's not time wasted. Like
it's
I think that's
necessarily
important.
a reward, but it's something to do.
Most kids don't really want to sit down and read. Like I kind of loved it when I was a kid. I didn't mind. I'm like, well, whatever. Like
Goosebumps.
Yeah,
that was my shit.
It depended on what it was.
We have a bunch like just in like a random bin at the house. I'm like, wait until he gets older. Here you go, read this.
Nice.
When I was grounded, you got a beating, then you got a big talk about why you were beaten and why you should be sorry, and then you were confined to the house, you couldn't go out with your friend. But you could still play with your shit in your room.
I would lose everything.
Yeah?
I would lose it. I would...
But my friends were out playing outside and shit like that.
Well, if I went outside,
you know what I mean?
If I went outside,
in
it
my
just
room.
disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just gone. Like, I started going to the park with, like, my older friend, who's, I think, like, the kid I grew up hanging out with every day was, like, 3 years older than me. So I was like 5, he's like 8, little Spanish kid. We're the same height.
Yeah.
Going to the park and shit, and just disappeared for hours and coming back. Like,
That's it.
I lived up in like suburban Newton, and it was kind of the sticks or rural Newton, and so like we'd go through the woods and shit. But my mom could whistle with her fingers, and we'd be like, and if we didn't fucking say what or come.
Yeah, you gotta respond.
Oh man. Yeah,
my mom didn't whistle.
Before texting.
She would just scream my name out the 3rd floor window. And if I didn't hear her, it would get to me. Somebody would let me know.
Yeah, your mom's looking for you.
Your mom's looking for you, dude. She sounds pissed.
Hey, did you hear? Because there was this one time we were like hanging out in the fucking sewers, and I got so much fucking trouble for that.
We used to hang out in the fucking.
But there was this cute girl that lived next door named Michelle, and she would sometimes kiss me on the cheek. So whatever Michelle said, you know, let's go into the sewers. Okay, Michelle, you know.
Whatever you want to do, baby.
She was like a grade ahead of me, and she was like a tomboy, and she was awesome. I hope she's alive and well.
You should look her up.
Right?
Lick her up?
I probably
look
should.
her up and then lick her up.
Yeah.
You should like a tomboy. What were you gonna say?
I'm sorry, dude. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. You said stores. We used to hang out down at the train tracks down on Tunnelly Avenue, and there was like we would just like search the trains and then play on top of them and shit. But they had like
my friend Bill Smith would hate you. He was a train conductor.
Oh, they would just like shoot like BBs and stuff at you off from the train to get because you're not supposed to be over there. Because it's dangerous, but two, like if they ever had a loaded train there, we would be trying to break in.
Yeah.
But they had like swamp water that was.
Did you find anything good when you broke in?
No.
Okay.
I don't have that kind of fucking luck. They had swamp water. No, you know what? I did find something because they had swamp water. It was like gray, but it was thick. And we jumped in there at some point for some fucking reason. Walked home, which I like half a mile. Got home, took off my boots, and I had a bunch of fucking like little fish in my boot.
Oh no shit.
Wow, you brought home some fish.
I was like, what the fuck? That's pretty disgusting. I don't know why I was in the water. We did a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah.
Then again, a lot of people did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do a lot of illegal shit too. That's the best shit.
Yeah, the good old days, man.
Yeah. Well, fucking, we set the back of semi on fire, like it was parked in Hoboken. Like, we were in it, like, and then like there was 3 of them. One of us was like, "Oh, well, that's what I'm gonna do," and we're like, "Well, no, we gotta get the fuck out of here." And like one of them was like, one of my buddies was trapped, or I don't know if he was fucking around. I was like, "Well, if you don't hurry up, we're gonna die." Got out, ran up the fucking.
Yeah, he found the will, didn't he?
Oh yeah, got out, ran up through like the trails, and then watched it burn. And no idea why the fucking dude who did it. And then somebody else, like a couple weeks later, started a house fire and actually killed somebody. So
Jesus Christ!
Not somebody that we hung out with, just somebody we knew from. He lived in that area.
There was when I was a kid. There was like these older kids. One of them was my friend's older brother, that had like I guess firecrackers or fireworks, like bottle rockets, and they shot it at the one school, Radcliffe School, and I guess somehow it caught a bus on fire.
Oh shit!
And that was like the talk of the town.
It's like explosive. I burnt down a fucking garbage can with a smoke bomb because I threw it in there, and I guess like there's a lit fuse. It was one of those old school like plastic brown garbage cans.
I grew up on a street too with like a kid that was like a Boy Scout, like an Eagle Scout.
I did that very
and
shortly.
I was a Boy Scout too for a while. I never made it past like first class, but this kid, we were outside and they were like, we should start a fire. He's like, oh, I got an idea. We'll make an incinerator. And he goes and gets a plastic spackle bucket, and we drag it behind his mom's car. And then we fill it with newspapers and we just light that shit on fire. We're all just like standing around like, this is cool. And then my mom and like the other neighbor are like, something's burning, what the fuck? Like, it's like a plastic bin,
Yeah.
So they run over, they're like, what the fuck are you doing? Put that out. And they're like, my friend's dad puts it out. And we're like, what the fuck? And the Boy Scout kid's mom comes out, oh, it's okay, he's a Boy Scout. He knows what he's doing.
trained.
It's like, lady, we're lighting a fucking fire in a spackle bucket. Like, he don't know what he's doing. What the fuck are you talking about?
About to die from all the fumes.
Yeah. Behind your car. By the gas tank. What the fuck are you talking about? The good old days,
It was
man.
a fucking lawless wasteland.
Yeah, the
Right?
90s.
I don't like.
The 90s were laws.
Yeah, it was great.
So just imagine what the 80s and the 70s
No, like,
were
yeah,
probably worse.
like-
Yeah. Because like most of the toys in the 70s were like fucking dangerous.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had like fucking some of the most like retarded shit, like fucking big, like you have a big 35-pound fucking Tonka truck that's made out of all metal.
Oh, yeah.
And my oldest brother, who's 7 years younger than me,
Yellow and black.
fucking picked it up one day and slammed it in my face while I was sleeping because I like whipped his ass for something.
Are you guys too young to remember the clackers? It's like you get these like two
the
heavy
balls and you
balls.
just yeah.
And like I had so many concussions from those fucking things.
I get a concussion from that.
Well, you get hit in the head enough times.
Oh.
And then there was this one time my brother and I were shaking up our yoo-hoos and throwing them to each other, and I saw something on the TV and looked back and a yoo-hoo hit me in the face. Nose was bleeding. Went to the doctor's office. They rushed me ahead like all these people because it wouldn't stop. It's crazy. Good old days.
My dad used to do a thing where he would lay on the floor sometimes.
Just lay on the floor.
You just lay on the floor, which is fine. Sometimes I do it too, but I don't have a kid walking around.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Like, if you walk around with your, if you lay on the floor, you have a little kid walking around. My brother did that. He picked up one of those fucking big yellow and black Tonka trucks and just went over my dad's head and just let it go. And it just fucking fell on his face. It was the funniest fucking thing I'd ever seen. And it was the best thing my brother ever
My brother did that to my sister.
It's okay, fuck you.
Oh man.
Like literally, open my eyes. There he is. He was 4, so I was like 11. He's just
boom. Minimum 10 pounds, but probably more like 15, 20 pounds, depending on the size of the Tonka truck. Those things are freaking.
Yeah.
They're no joke.
But I love the thought of like a kid, like a little kid, like, I wonder what's gonna happen if I drop this on my dad's face. Like, they know it's heavy, they're picking it up. Like,
this isn't gonna feel good. But maybe
Did he have his eyes closed, or did he see?
My dad, he would do this thing where he would just lay on the floor and like sleep for like 20 minutes. Like he would just take a nap. I guess the floor was like good for his back for 20 minutes.
You're
Yeah.
supposed to line it up.
And but my brother just I don't know, wanted to wake him up. Rude awakening. I don't know.
If I go to stretch or lay down on the floor within about 5 seconds, I have somebody on my back trying to choke me out. He's going for my neck. He starts bonsai dropping me. He thinks that's hilarious and then he'll hear all the air rush out, the noise that I make when he lands. He hears that and he's like, "Oh, it's go time," and he just ramps it up. And he had a phase where he started like striking. He would just start kicking me, and so we kind of put a chill to that a little bit, but not really. It's on his terms. Like he does what he wants.
That's what he wants.
Like he gets disciplined. He has rules, but he's a fucking cute kid, fucking smart. He runs shit.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
So he's mama's boy.
Do we have a hero or an asshole of the week? Now is the time usually when we start to.
Ari Shafir.
Is your hero?
No, he's a fucking asshole. He's a piece of shit.
What did Ari Shafir do?
So Ari Shafir is a piece of shit comedian from New Jersey who decided that the day of Kobe Bryant's death, literally maybe 2 hours after, to fucking come out and say some horrible shit.
What did he say?
That Kobe Bryant died like 22 years too late, and that basically Kobe Bryant deserved to die because he was accused of rape, even though like everybody knows the fucking story with that shit.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not even like a huge Kobe Bryant fan. Like he was a big part of my childhood and shit.
Was he acquitted of that?
They settled. She didn't want to testify. After everything was said and done, she didn't want to testify. He thought it was consensual. He admits that, like looking back, he sees that it wasn't actually. It's when that whole the whole debate on what consensual is and like what.
He's a powerful figure.
Yeah, there was like a lot of misinterpreted, I guess, intimidation or whatever. But he went out and just said horrible shit, and then doubled down on Twitter with another video, and now he's locked his Twitter account. He got dropped by his fucking agent. He had to cancel his tour. He's a piece of shit. Like I'm all for like edgy comedy. There was no joke. So he's a fucking asshole.
Some people like to kick people when they're down.
It's all about what the exaggeration is.
He tried shock value or whatever it was important.
I don't know if it's even gonna affect him really in any way because he's already made. Like his Netflix special. He doesn't give a fuck anymore thoh.
Well,
like,
that's good. For
that's
him.
the thing. Like he's one of those guys like now that I don't know.
I don't even know who he is.
He used to do this video back in the day. It was called The Amazing Racist, and he would like go. They were all staged, but like he would go like pick up like day laborers and then like instead of going for like whatever the job was, he would take them to like INS and like.
Oh my god.
They would all like fucking see where they were and like scatter. He's like, "Come on, beaters!" Like he was just real racist all the time.
He's a fucking douche. It's like, and I'm all for. Like,
He's kind of like a
mean-spirited.
Yeah, he's kind of like a mean-spirited, like hacky comic.
Yeah, he's a troll in real life.
Yes.
And it was just like, it just, I don't know. It fucking really rubbed me the wrong way, and that I've actually been. I think I've been holding that in the whole time.
I'm glad you got it out.
I fucking hate him. He lives in fucking like Mawa. I'm like, oh man, if I didn't have a life that was like important.
You know what's funny is like he's one of those dudes too that he could be standing in front of me at a Starbucks and I wouldn't even know.
I had to look him up.
Like I know what he looks like.
I know,
but he looks like a normal, unremarkable dude. Like I wouldn't place.
There's nothing that he doesn't have it.
No,
yes, would say.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So fuck you, Ari Shafir.
Yeah.
Who's your asshole of the week?
My asshole of the week and also my hero of the week is Jim Cook.
Oh boy.
He's my hero of the week because he picked me up for the Evil Expo and we had breakfast together and then we got high before we went in there, which was awesome. And he's also my asshole of the week because we were there to promote Cult of Contempt podcast and the whole time Jerkface is hanging out the card to his own show and said nothing about the podcast.
All right.
Here's my card.
You're my asshole of the week because you're a tactless fuck. Okay, I'm here for my appearance is to promote my shit. All right, my appearance here, my appearance there.
Yeah,
that's first and foremost.
That's what got you in the Evil Expo, though, right? Not Cult of Contempt podcast.
I robbed Peter to pay Paul. All right, and he knows it, and I've done it. So I'm handing out my cards, and every time I'm target, and especially when it was a girl, Phil will come running and just shove a Cult of Contempt card in her fucking face.
Because that's what we're there for.
No. I heard Phil didn't run in. I heard Phil would just like appear like fucking Doctor Strange.
Yeah, like you were a total tactless asshole. Look, all you had to do was let me do my thing and walk away, and then you come by, and then you talk about Cult of Contempt.
Shit.
Or I would should have been talking about Cult of Contempt.
Just smack the card out of the hand. Here you go, take
I
this.
shot for Cult of Contempt. Why can't you promote for Cult of Contempt? And don't start like getting on me, dude. Like you dropped the ball in so many of our fucking events. Time wrong on Paul's birthday. You fucking didn't do any social media stuff during the Santos thing. You barely ran the booth.
Yeah, I did.
Don't even get me fucking started, Phil. You're not only the asshole of the week, you're the asshole for the rest of February.
And sleep here. Yeah, extra day, man.
Oh, I love this.
So, anyway.
Oh, I think I'm the hero of the week for bringing everybody together.
Good.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Dude, thank you for coming.
This is my first.
No, you know who my hero of the week is?
Flight Freddy!
Freddy!
Flight Day Freddy.
I'm gonna have a fucking tattoo.
Fight Day Frankie.
Fright Day Frankie.
FDF.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You know what? You're my hero of the week because I had another guest, Ken Katowski. We rescheduled him, and he dropped off, and I was like, kind of. I think it worked out for the best because I kind of wanted to cover like Evil Expo, and he wasn't there, but you were there, so it was cool. And thank you for coming.
The only shows I go to see are you. I go see Paul, and I go see Devil in the Belfry. It's the only time I go out to see any bands.
Cool, man.
That's it.
Well, next time my bands are gonna come to you.
Nice.
Awesome.
Wait, where are you from?
I live like right down the block.
Oh, no shit.
I'm from Jersey City. I've moved around, and me and my wife just bought a condo in Nutley.
Cool. Awesome talk.
Yes.
So we're neighbors.
She's not Jewish, but it's
fucking neighbors.
Yes, we are. I think it's way closer than I thought.
Rutt's Hut, a really friendly shop, right? I love Nutley.
So I think on that note, we're out of here. Love you guys. Thank you for watching.
And tune in to Greetings from North Jersey, what this whole podcast is about.
Greetings from North Jersey!
We hope. If you have any questions or comments, or want to hear your band on the show, just write us at cultofcontemptpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to see back episodes of the show, youtube.com/Plan10 Studios, cultofcontempt.org, or right here on Facebook, Cult of Contempt Network. Even check us out on Instagram at Cult of Contempt Podcast. You want to reach Paul? It's at Paul Mauld on Twitter and Instagram, and Paul of the Living Dead on Facebook.com, Phil Perry the Writer on Instagram, and his Facebook fan page at Phil Perry the Writer. I'm Jim Cook at Jim Cook on Facebook or Jim Cook Voice Actor on Facebook. You want to get a hold of me directly, jcookvoice at yahoo.com. On behalf of Paul and Phil, I want to thank you for listening. We'll see you next week at 8:15. I'm Jim Cook. Transmission out.
Stand by for contact.